Okay, so welcome to this new video, and I'm going to be talking about the audio node in Mesh, which is the first node in the Mesh network. I want to try and cover as many of the nodes as possible. Some of the nodes are more just placements, not they don't really do much work, but yeah, they have their effects. So, but depending on what you are trying to create, or how creative you can get, these nodes could be very important. So we start off. Let's try with the cube again. So cube. Um, let's just leave it and create a mesh network of the linear stuff. Okay. So first thing I want to add is the audio nodes. So as you can see, we have all our nodes here, and they're kind of arranged alphabetically. And some of them are quite interesting to you, very interesting. Some of them not as much. Okay. All right. So firstly, we're going to be talking about the audio node. So in order to add the node to your already existing distributes process or distribute pattern, what you want is just you will select the node, just not right click though, just left click and then it will tell you to add. So I want to add an audio node. So I'm just going to add an audio node. Now the audio node option is opened up for me. Here we have the mode, the output mode, file name, because it requires an audio to work. Now, and the way Maya works, generally it doesn't work with compressed audio, so it has to be either a WAV format or an AIF format. So, preferably we like to use WAV formats. So, and any audio you want to use has to be WAV format. So, from here you go to file name, then you find the audio, and then all this now works. Right now, if you do anything, it's not going to show any effects yet until you add the audio to that. So, and then we have the spectrum and array stuff. So let's first of all go get our audio. So go in File, and I go into my system. Let's go to Computer, um, Users, so go in the Music. Okay, so I have two audios here. Now let's go with this one, Kenny G. Love Kenny G. And that's a WAV file. Okay, I have other files, other audios here, but they are missed. Was basically MP3. So I'm just going to work with this. So I click open, and now it's opened. Okay, so if I hit play right now, let me increase this to 300. Um, so that's about 10 seconds. So if I click play now, you see there's movement in there. Right. So I could go under my distribute and increase the number. Let's say, let's get up to 30, and let's do distance of 30 as well. Okay, so that it's more visible. See, okay. Now, like I said, this is displaying the audio in the spectrum basis. Spectrum basis, you can go on average. On the average, what it's going to be doing is basically just flowing in that format. It's not going to be bouncing off like in the spectrum. Okay, so usually, depending on what you want to design, though, anyone works. So I like the spectrum. In the output mode, we have normal, we have the multiply. The multiply basically is kind of subtracts from, or the dark version of the color. It's a blending mode. A multiply usually works with dark values of one layer over another layer. Right now, let's go at layers. Like I said, I won't deal with colors for now. Position, rotation, scale are enabled, so I could move the position like if I press, let's say, click on this. Okay, I could change position on the y-axis, so that's lifting it up. But if you look at this, it's kind of the grid is kind of cutting it off, so they're kind of in the center of the grid, right? So you can raise the position on the y so that they are all flat. Since let's see, let's just go 20 position and raise it that way. Okay, so when I will play this, it's kind of moving higher, right? So that's the position. that. And we have the, I'm not going to do position Z because I could do that. So just move it along the Z axis. So to just push it forward, if I make this like 20 and then press play, what happens is it's going to be moving forward and upwards as well. Okay. All right. So let's just leave this guys down. Now rotation, this has to do with the rotation of the audio as its main rotation. Rotation of the audio as its main so rotation of Y and so if I hit play now, you can see it's, let's pause somewhere where we have a value here. So we could make the rotation. See that? Rotate on the x-axis, go to the z-axis, but preferably want to rotate on the y-axis for this because this is a distribution in linear that we can also increase the scale, the axis, so that we can see it. You can increase the scale of the other axes. But preferably, I want to make this kind of smaller. So let's say I'm on my normal cube and make this kind of thinner. Right, so it's looks more like an audio file. So let's come under the distributes. Let's make this a little bit more. Okay, and then it's good. You can scale it up, right? Uh, okay, change the offset if you want to, but not really important. You could also rotate it here visually. So that this works with the previous or with the other uh, rotation values. So when you come into your audio and you change any of these rotations here, so here, play, we have some crazy kind of dancing here. All right, so this is just basically how that guide goes. We have the frequency graph as well. You can increase how intense the frequency is, the graphicalizer. You have a graphicalizer connected here, or other stuff like that. Okay. All right, so that's the linear. You can also use the radial grid for that, and once you hit play, you still have movement. Okay, so based on whatever options you're having. So depending on the plane that you want the grid to work with, it's just gonna work in that direction. Okay. So that's the audio stuff. Um, so I could actually have two meshes here. Let me increase this guy on this format here. Increase the amount of distribution for him. All right. So I could actually come in here and add my let's just add cube, smaller cube. Okay. Let's go mesh. So this will be mesh two. I'll create a sphere. See, and yep. And then on the mesh two, I change to mesh and then connect my mesh to the sphere and tell this to be in parentheses of the mesh. Please probably flood the mesh. No. Okay, I have to hide my sphere. I don't really need it. Okay, but I could increase this. Um, let's say I make this 40 by 40 just to add some more subdivisions. I think that's much. So let's do 30 by 30. All right, so this, okay, not much still. Let me reduce this over here. Yeah, I don't really need too much. This is a 30 by 30, and then the cube, I reduce that. All right. I think I'll make some more divisions. Okay. All right, let's do this. Okay, so now on the mesh 2, I could now add same an audio node, right? Speak the same file, right? So G open, and then when I hit play, I have then playing. You see that they're playing. It's always playing from this angle here. Okay, so let's stop this and probably mm, more. So let's go the average here. Let's see how this one looks like. You go crazy. And so I could have an animation where basically just a random vertex. Okay? I could have an animation where it's randomly just picking up the vertices from different parts of the cube. Okay, so that's a random vertex. It's not really going for one set, and this could be a cool motion graphics effect for me, depending on what I'm looking for, or how I can push it along. I can push this out of the original, so I can have this as a design. All right, so that's the audio note. It's a very interesting way of creating motion graphics with audio. And I say you could add a lot more things. And the cool thing with the Mesh is you could use node on top of nodes. You could add nodes upon nodes. There's actually no law that says you can only use one node, but if you have other things to do, you could use more nodes. So just for instance, like in this Mesh, now I will add a color node, this Mesh node, okay? I can also add a color node to this other one, right? And for me, in this one, I make the color red and I randomize the colors here, okay, to this. And maybe, yep. So just to create some beautiful, let me turn on the grid. And for my motion graphics, that could be the effect I'm trying to look for, all right? So working with the audio is quite fun. Just have a nice or very aggressive music style, add to your animation, and whatever you want to do, there are no limits, okay? There are no limits. So this is just the basics, and maybe the future video will actually do an actual project where we will use the audio notes. So till next video, take care.